Eric Johnson. Dancing Dads. Dancing Dads, Eric Johnson.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, ever been embarrassed by your parents? Have you ever tried to embarrass your own kids? Your kids think that you're embarrassing and nerdy? Well, I'm a tax accountant. But my kids, they just don't know how cool I really am. So I decided I was going to prove it to them. It all started about 4 months ago when my 6- and 9-year-old daughters, both of whom are dancers, put me up to a dare. "Say, Dad," said my oldest precocious daughter, Abby, "why don't you do something cool for a change, instead of always having your nose buried in your boring old textbooks?" Well, I have to admit, I felt pretty hurt when she said this. I consider myself to be pretty cool compared to your typical tax geek. Pocket protector wearing, calculator carrying, and as dry as the paint in your grandma's kitchen. But me? I was different. Why, when I do crossword puzzles, I use colored pencils. I garden using hydroponics. And once every week or two, I stay up and I watch Leno on the late night TV. As I reflected on my many qualities of coolness, I realized, well, maybe she had a small point. First, I didn't stack up well compared to the exciting careers of her friends' dads. Firefighter, lion tamer, pest exterminator. Well, can't all be pest exterminators, can we? But I have to admit there were other examples too. When I go to a party and I introduce myself as a tax accountant, I almost always get a deer in the headlights expression, followed by a sudden excuse to go refill an already full drink glass. It was then that I realized I was going to have to significantly up my cool factor just to keep my street cred with a couple of elementary schoolers, much less have a chance when they were teenagers. And that's when inspiration struck. Dancing Dads would be my salvation. Dancing Dads had it all. It was a place to don the mantle of coolness, to reclaim lost youth and savvy, and hopefully not pull a hamstring in the process. Needless to say, my daughters were a little skeptical at first. But as they thought about their dad being up on stage in front of all their dance friends, they were nothing short of horrified. Don't worry, I said, you'll see. I'm going to be the coolest dad of any of your friends after this is through. The first night of practice started out well enough. Started with a little light stretching. Yeah, this isn't too bad, I can do this. And then we did something called a jazz square. Now this sounded like something I would like. To learn the jazz square, we started off counting each step. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we did that over and over and over. And I was blown away at how the repetitiveness and utter monotony almost rivaled the work that I do every day preparing tax returns. Pure ecstasy. But then suddenly, the pace of the counting got much faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, instead of the jazz square being relaxing and enjoyable, it made me really sweaty. And I started to feel kind of nauseous. But then the real horror began. Then we started learning moves like the motorcycle. And the running man. Man, all I wanted to do was run out of there. But now, the recital where we'd be performing our dance was less than a week away. Well, the big night finally arrived. And at the end of the recital, after my daughters were finished with all of their dancers, 20 grown men, most of us accountants, dentists, and tax geeks like myself, ran up onto the stage, accompanied by the music of AC/DC's Thunderstruck. As we ran circles on the stage, the crowd was whipped into a roaring frenzy. What was it that had caused such a reaction? Was it the blaring of edgy rock and roll music? Was it the anticipation of seeing a group of 40-year-old men about to perform dance moves best left to teenagers? Maybe, just maybe, maybe it was the orange Zubas that had put them over the top. It's hard to remember much that happened after that. As I think back, going through the dance moves, it's mostly a hazy blur of swinging arms and shuffling feet. But I do recall for certain I did a picture-perfect jet square. After the dance was finished, the crowd high-fived us as we ran out through the audience. But as I got to the back of the auditorium, I could see that my 9-year-old daughter, Abby, was there waiting. And as I got closer, I could see she had tears in her eyes. I said, Abby, what's wrong? What's the matter? It's the Zubas, isn't it? No, she said, Dad, the Zubas are fine. What I really wanted to tell you is how sorry I am that I thought you were nothing but a boring tax geek. You were awesome tonight. I couldn't be prouder than to call you my dad. Then she gave me the biggest hug of her life, and I shed a tear of my own. For those of you with kids of your own, you may be wondering, I really need to join Dancing Dads just to keep my credibility with my kids. Well, my answer to you is, yeah, you really don't. All you really need is to simply find a way to show your kids that you care about the things that they're involved in. Madam Toastmaster.